Hello, I'm Dr. Chantal Borgo-Ducoudray, and I'm the convener of the Gender Studies major at UWA. I'm presenting this video from Whadjuk Noongar Boodja, or country, and I pay my deep respects to elders past, present and emerging. Gender Studies is an interdisciplinary major, which means that students take a small suite of core units accompanied by electives from a large range of disciplines such as history, industrial relations, anatomy and human biology, music and many, many others. All of the units in the major focus on issues of gender history or theory or experience and embodiment and/or issues of social justice or social responsibility more generally. The major is also a second major only, which means that it must be taken in conjunction with another UWA major as the primary major. What this means is that the Gender Studies major provides an excellent basis for moving into any workplace, developing competencies in navigating the complexities of workplaces, whether you are thinking about a career in STEM or perhaps the arts or human services. An understanding of, I guess, the politics of gender is very, very valuable. Gender Studies is also valuable because it explores many pressing social issues, some of which are represented on this slide. As we've seen with the women's marches of 2017 or the Me Too movement, feminism is currently a very public concern. We're also witnessing sustained public conversations about many other issues related to gender, such as men's mental health or the gender pay gap or family violence. All of the issues listed on this slide are complex problems that require interdisciplinary solutions. And in this sense, Gender Studies provides excellent preparation for tackling many of the challenges of the 21st century, which typically are of a complex nature. Gender Studies is also globally relevant. Gender equality is UN Sustainable Development Goal number 5, and many roles in international development, which students may be interested in moving into, require an understanding of gender. Gender Studies graduates are highly employable for some special reasons. Because of the interdisciplinary nature of the field, our graduates, as I've already mentioned, are particularly well equipped to work on complex problems that require social systems thinking or interdisciplinary collaboration. UWA graduates also develop advanced relational competence or communication skills that support diversity and inclusion, coupled with excellent awareness of the ways in which social and cultural factors can impact the individual experience and also workplace cultures. This skill set is particularly emphasised through our approach to teaching, which foregrounds the importance of engaging in dialogue, even if or especially when there are marked differences or strong emotions involved. And this approach to teaching also cultivates students' self-awareness about their personal values and commitments, also any factors they know negatively affect their performance, and also the conditions that they know they need to thrive. So we pay close attention to our individual students and assisting them to really develop that self-awareness and self-knowledge. Overall, Gender Studies is a major that is extremely useful in preparing students for everyday working life. So it supports students to develop competence in navigating career pathways and pipelines, to navigate the micro-politics of organisational processes and structures, to communicate really effectively with colleagues and stakeholders, and to pursue and support positive cultural change. Through all of these skills are supported through the approach to teaching and learning. We strive always to make the content relevant and applicable. So students are strongly encouraged to draw on their personal experience, to learn about themselves, and also to listen to the accounts of other students in order to learn about how it is for others. They discover very quickly that their learning is applicable to every aspect of their lives, including work, leisure, family, friendships, also intimate relationships. And throughout the major, we are very explicit about linking the things that we're doing in the classroom to the world of employment. So for example, in an assignment that we give students in their first year of study, it is a 3-minute digital story that they're required to produce. It's quite a complex task. It involves creating images, recording audio, writing a script, and then redrafting and polishing. So we introduce them to concepts of project management in order to manage that project. And we also share some of the ways that social justice or advocacy organisations out in various industries actually use digital stories in their own processes. I'm going to show you an example of one of the digital stories that our students in Semester 1 2020 produced. This one is by Freya Evans, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hello, my name is Freya. I'm a psychology student, musician, and songwriter. Growing up, I never really thought about my gender or what it meant. I knew that I was a girl, and for the most part, I was happy to be a girl and all the things that came along with it. As I've grown older though, I've started to realise what my gender has limited me to, rather than given me. Growing up, I showed an interest in drums and electric guitar at a very young age, but my mum encouraged me to instead play piano, an instrument that I didn't really enjoy. This decision did make sense to me though. I'd never seen a girl play drums or a girl play a solo on electric guitar, so it didn't really seem like something I could do. So I settled for the piano and took up music as a subject in Year 12, and it was here where my ideas of gender were reinstated. The girls sang and were the centre of attention, and the boys played the backing band. By graduation, my friend Ashley wanted to audition for WAAPA, a performing arts school in Perth. We drove the 3 hours from our regional town to the city to attend the audition for the program together, and to my surprise, we both got accepted. Being someone who had never seen music as a possible option for me, I found myself moving to a new city at the age of 17 with a newfound identity of a female musician. This term, female musician, has followed me around for the last few years, and I have a lot of trouble with it. It feels like the world's opinion, sometimes including mine, is that a musician is already inherently a male term, and we need to define and mark when a female is attempting to identify with the career path. This term is used to describe me in almost every article, gig, and bio that I play, a definer that is used to triumph my femininity over a male arena of art. 3 years later, I've graduated from WAAPA, I have a band, I play electric guitar and I sing, but my gender is still something that is constantly coming between my art form and myself. Sound guys often assume I don't know how to set up my guitar or how to sound check. Drunken men have yelled at me during performances, and I often don't feel comfortable going to gigs or carrying equipment alone. My story, like many others, is due to a lack of female representation within the arts. What our society defines as masculine and feminine discourages what younger women believe they are capable of and are able to pursue, which creates a cycle of underrepresentation and stigmatization within artistic industries. Feminist academics such as Paul Burks, Josephine Hogarth, and Diana Miller have argued for extensive systematic research on gender inequality in the arts in order to address this lack of representation and dismantle these gender constructs. After all that I've learned over the years, I try and remind myself that even though it took me 17 years to learn that I could play an electric guitar, hopefully playing it now means that it might not take other girls as long.
The last thing to discuss is possible further study pathways. So obviously I've talked about gender studies as a second major, enhancing students' employability straight out of undergraduate study. But this by no means exhaustive list of possibilities does suggest some of the pathways that articulate really effectively with a gender studies major in the undergraduate space. it's a major that can support study in a very, very, very wide range of fields, but some of these ones are maybe obvious, slightly more obvious pathways that students might like to think about. So I hope you found this presentation useful, and maybe I'll meet you in one of my classes. Bye.